Clay is one of the most powerful tools that came to the market in the last 3 years, but it can be really pricey if you don't know how to use it properly. In this video, I'll walk you through how you can enrich emails, phone numbers, you can get AI to process data, how to use webhooks in Clay to get more enrichments or to send data from Clay to a sequence tools without paying for the product plan. First of all, I want you to let you know that in order to start using Clay, you have the possibility to start by using the free function in Clay. The free function is really useful to start testing Clay and being able to start testing some integration, get the data that you want, but the amount of data that you will be able to process in that free plan won't be enough for you to succeed in your enrichment processes. That's why we always recommend our clients to start with the starter plan. And if you want to start with more credits, you can check out this link that will drop in the description so you can create your account using that link. And after creating your account using that link and subscribing to the starter plan, you will receive 3,000 extra credits so you can start your journey. Let's say you're starting with the starter plan right now. What you will see is that, of course, you will get a lot of features in that, but you won't have access to the HTTP API. You won't have access to webhooks. You won't have access to sending data to email sequences tools or to exclude companies, create CRM integrations, and so on. So these features are key to start using Clay properly. So either you upgrade your account to the Pro plan or you start using the cheat sheets that we're gonna give you today. Let me introduce you on how the create credits function. Let's say that you are this person that wants to get your database enriched. You get access to Find Email subscription, which costs you $49 per month to get emails from a list of leads. You can have access to LinkedIn or Sales Navigator to a certain amount of money. You can have access to HG Insights to get a more powerful data set of enrichment. You can have access to Apollo, Datagma to get emails, Prospeo to get emails, validate emails using Daybounds or any other tool. And you will start seeing that if you start adding tools after tool, you will get a total amount of money here at the end of the month. Now, let's say you talk to your friends that they are doing the same and you propose them to use the same tools because you are not using the full potential of each tool. So you're paying for the same subscription, but now you are splitting that subscription into 3 persons. So the cost of doing this enrichment will decrease by 3. Now let's go and introduce you to Clay. What Clay does actually is act as a third-party member. You don't have to subscribe to each of those tools, but actually what you need to do is only purchase them credits through an API call, and they will send that API call to an external tool that will return you the data that you would like without you having to pay for the full plan. So in this case, let's say you want to get an email for just one person, it will cost you 2 create credits. That if you are in the starter plan, each create credit will cost you 7.5 cents. So it will be 15 cents. Compared to having to subscribe to Find Email for $49 per month, probably will be cheaper, but there is a break-even point that you need to understand in order to assess which tool would you be able to use at full capacity in Clay so you can replace them in Clay. Now let me introduce you to how you can use Clay to start connecting your external tools so you can decrease the cost of running your own enrichments. So let's say you have an Prospeo account. You need to look for your API key and you can use a native integration that you have in Clay. If you are in the starter plan, you will be able to do it. In the free plan, you won't be able to do it. But in the starter plan, you can connect any tools that you like that you have in the native integrations. There are some of them that are only available for the Explorer or the Pro plan, like CRM integrations, but those can be achieved by other methods I will teach you today. So if you are integrated with the native call, you only need to put the API key here and you will be able to start using the calls. Instead of using these 2 credits, for instance, you will be using just 1 Prospeo credit, which is probably cheaper than using Create credits. The other way of integrating your tools is by using HTTP API calls. Let's say you want to integrate Prospeo, and in this case, you have all these functionalities in Prospeo that you can connect through Clay using the HTTP API. You will need to know how to connect tools using HTTP APIs, but it's not so difficult if you start looking for educational videos and so on, because today you can have access to AI that will help you to create your own HTTP API call. In this case, let's say I want to find the email, so I'll verify the email. That's a feature that you don't have in Clay from Prospeo, but you can do it via the HTTP API call. You need to set up this functionality in here by selecting the method, the endpoint, point, the header, and then sending the data through this enrichment process, you will receive a return data that can be the email that you're getting or the email verified. So this is another way you can start using Clay to start using your own credits from the tools that you're already paying instead of using Clay credits. Now, like I told you, there's always a break-even point that you should assess when you are about to take a decision of connecting an external tool into Clay. So we built this tool that will help you to understand when is the best moment for you to connect an external tool instead of using Clay credits. So in this case, let's say you are in a starter plan. You will be having 2,000 credits per month at a cost of $149. That means that each Clay credit will cost you 7.5 cents. But if you are in the Explorer plan, the cost per credit will decrease a lot. If you are in the Pro plan, of course, Clay credits will decrease furthermore. When you are about to take a decision on which plan should you subscribe, take in mind that the cost per credit will decrease if you select the Pro plan or the Explorer plan instead of using the Starter plan. But in case you don't want to use Clay as a huge volume processor, I would strongly suggest you to start with the Starter plan and then start upgrading the plan when you start seeing that you need it. In this case, you can see here a column that says tools. So we can have here different tools. We have here the plan names of each tool, the function that they deliver to us, the monthly cost per plan, per tool, and the capacity they have to run enrichments. Here you have another column in which you will have the total cost per usage. It will divide the total monthly cost per the total tool capacity. So in here, you will see how many credits you need to run this enrichment. And if you make the calc, let's say you have it in the starter plan. So each credit costs you 7.5 cents. So 2 credits will cost you 15 cents. So if you start comparing that, of course, it will be cheaper for you to run an Atagma enrichment to find email for 1 cent compared to 15 cents. But that depends on how many enrichment you want to run. So that's what we got here in another column, which you can see the break-even point in which it will justify for you to invest in using this tool. For instance, if you need to use 2,000 enrichments, it will be cheaper for you to use the Atagma subscription, Discover subscription for $39 per month than using Clay credits. And you will save up to $259. And then the Clay credits that you get from your plan can be used as a fallback in case the Atagma doesn't find the email. So you will increase the coverage and you will decrease the cost of running your enrichment. You can do the same for everything, but in this case, if you compare OpenAI, let's say GPT-4o, 4o Mini, 4o, those type of integrations are a must-have in any plan because the cost of running your own API integrations on GPT, on Tropic, will be more expensive than using your own. Let's compare it. In this case, if you want to use a Clay agent for web research using the GPT-4o Mini, the cost per run will be 0.4 cents. But if you use it on Clay, right now, it can cost you 1 credit. That costs, in this case, if you're on a starter plan, 7.5 cents. So it's way more expensive using Clay credits for this usage than using your own API. That will tell you when it's better for you to subscribe to an external tool. You can access this solution in the description and you will see how you can start setting up and analyze your own tech stack. Okay, let's go to check out the other features that you don't have in the starter plan. That are here, the HTTP API and webhooks. Of course, you want to integrate your CRM and you want to integrate email integration, but that's all can be done via using HTTP APIs. So this is a trick. If you start a new table using a template that already have an HTTP API column in it, you will be able to use it, although you won't be able to create new ones. So in here, we have a template that you can start using it that have an integration to HeyRich to send leads to HeyRich and integrations to SmartLead to send a lead to SmartReach, to get a campaign data, to connect through DeepSeek, and to an email verification tool. But you can set up your own. If you want to change anything from this, like any API here, you can set it up, you can change it, you can change the body, you can change the headers, depending on what tool you want to integrate. So we will give you access to this template as well if you click on the description, and you will see the link there. If you want to start using webhooks in Clay, there is a cool workaround that is called using Apify for it. Let's say you want to start using webhooks. This feature won't be available for you if you are in a starter plan, but the feature that will be actually available for you if you are in a starter plan is the import data from Apify. So you can start by using Apify here and selecting this Apify actor that is called CSV2 dataset that can transform any dataset into a CSV as a webhook. So in this case, for instance, I have a newsletter database that is getting uploaded every time we have a new sign up into our newsletter. So I want to scrape that database and since it will be growing each time, I can schedule this Apify actor to run whenever I want. The only thing that I need to do in order to use this actor, first of all, is to open the spreadsheet, so if I will be able to access it, and then you can copy the URL here and then paste it in here, and at the end of the URL you should add this code, that is this block of text, and replace this subscriber, for instance, for the name of the spreadsheet that you want to scrape actually. So in this case it's subscriber, but you can change it. So now you have a new actor in Apify that will run for you at a really low cost, that you can do it even in the free plan of Apify. If you want to create your own Apify account, I will leave you the link here so you can start using Apify. It will run this solution for you and will get you a database like this one. So you will get all the database that you have in the spreadsheet in the same table, and then if you go back where you were setting up this function, you should create a task, let's say scrape newsletter signups, and you should click on here, click on schedule, and then schedule to run it whenever you want. So you can schedule to run it once per day, and then in Clay you will be able to scrape it once per day. Now let's set it up in Clay. Going back in here, you should connect your Apify account by connecting your API key that you can get from your Apify account. So after putting your token in there, you just need to select the scroller, in this case is CSV file to dataset, and the Apify task, the one that we just selected, and you will start populating your table using a webhook that will be like a workaround for you. Alright, so now you are seeing the results of this scraper, and you will start getting populated your table, and you will start using your Clay table as a webhook as well. So this is really useful for you because you won't have to subscribe to the Explorer plan to access webhook feature. I know that it can be really complicated to set up. Maybe if you need some help, you can reach out to us. But the thing is that you will be able to start using Clay without any credits at all. Let's say you want to enrich further this data. If you go click here and you create your AI column, you can set up here your own API key and any other key possible, and you will start using your API keys in the setup of your table. So return me the name of the person in this data set, and then you can use, for instance, this data set, process that data using your own API keys, and see the results in the money that you are wasting in your OpenAI API. Okay, now as you can see here, you will see the total cost to a provider. In this case, it's $0.0007, and you have the response here. Instead of using credits, you have been using your own API keys. That will be far cheaper than using credits. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I know that Clay can be really tricky. So if you want to use this for your own business or start helping others to implement Clay, check out this video that I made here where I show you 15 absolutely insane use cases of Clay.com that can help you to drive leads into your pipeline, create content, and you'll create landing pages. Either way, you're gonna be glad about learning these processes and use cases that you can implement in Clay right away. See you there!